Thank you, Atharva. Shall we start the class? So I will share the screen with you. In the last class, we have seen different systems which are used in the vehicle. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in the previous class, we have seen the integral construction, then vehicle dimension, then frameless construction, defects, and the difference between the frame type and their benefits. Now today we are going to discuss the body in white. Usually this is the term which is used in most of the automotive industries. If you happen to work in the area of CAD CAM and CAE. See, CAE is basically the term which is used in most of the automotive industry to mention that it is the computer aided engineering, which is comprising of the modeling and simulation, so everything, and analysis as well. Okay, so in that particular area, the term which is commonly used by the automotive companies is body in white. So what is body in white? This is referred to most of the time for monocoque body, but sometimes it can be used for the chassis type of construction as well. Okay, a body in white or BIW, which is commonly referred to as the stage in automotive design or automobile manufacturing in which a car's body's sheet metal components have been welded together. Okay, so please understand that it is everything. That means whatever you can paint, that you weld together. Okay, this is car body's sheet metal components. Okay, have been welded together. So that means you do not fit the moving parts such as doors, hoods, deck, lids, as well as fenders. The motor, chassis, sub-assemblies or trim have been added before painting. Okay, so that is referred to as body in white. So usually before painting, whatever sheet metal body you make, that is called as the body in white. And most of the time the analysis is done for the body in white. And let me tell you the different kinds of analysis which are done on this particular body in white. The first and the foremost and the most important analysis is the normal mode dynamics. This you have studied, I think, in vibration class. Have you studied or not? Have you studied the normal mode dynamics, or have you taken the course on the vibration wherein you have studied the natural frequency and all? Or in theory of machines, have you studied the natural frequency of the body? Sir, please answer yes or no. Okay.
Yes,
so you
sir.
are well aware of the natural frequency of the body. It is basically the tendency of the body to deform in particular fashion when it is subjected to some kind of external disturbance and which you withdraw immediately. Okay. So whatever shape it takes, that is called as the mode shape, and there are different kinds of mode shape. usually when you do the normal mode dynamics analysis, it tells you the tendency of the body to get deformed in one particular, you can say, plane, or in one particular typical pattern. Okay, so likewise there are, when you do the normal mode dynamics analysis, the the first six modes, they are not considered as the natural frequency because they constitute to the rigid body motion, and from rest onwards you consider that the first natural frequency, and subsequently the remaining natural frequencies, they are in the multiples of the first natural frequency. Okay, so usually this kind of analysis is done on the body in white of the vehicle. So please keep this thing in mind, that body in white is particularly used for doing such kind of analysis. Thereby you come to know that where you need to add some stiffener so that you can restrict the deformation of the particular body in that particular location. So that is the idea for which you carry out the normal mode dynamics analysis, and that is the importance of this body in white kind of construction. Okay, so once you do that, then you came to know that these are the sensitive areas wherein you may get the deformation if there is some disturbance which is hitting the body. So that is done for body in white, and then you can do the FE analysis, then you can do the static analysis, dynamic analysis, and other things for strength purposes. Okay, now body in white assembly, these are the usually the components. Now after the assembly of these particular components, you can send the body to the paint shop, wherein you can give the different kinds of chemical treatment to the sheet metal, and then you send it to paint shop for painting, for let us say the different colors of the vehicle you get by. But the basic ingredient before painting, whatever you do, that is nothing but the body in white. Here they have included rear door assemblies as well for painting, so that can also be there, but in the definition of the body in white, this door is not included. Okay. So body in white assembly, once it is done, it is sent to the paint shop. After paint shop, then it is sent to the assembly line. So this is the discussion related to body in white. Now windows, doors, body components, they are windscreen, rear windows, that is two cantrails, this I don't know, we'll try to find out. Then roof structure. Okay, so these are the body components. The windows referred to as A post and other thing. This we have seen, pillar A and pillar B. They are illustrated in the figure, that is what it says. Okay. So this is the complete assembly where all the components of the vehicle are shown, which are fitted in the body in white. So this is, if you see that, this is basically the total, we can say that in the engineering language, it is the structure of the body, which is completely made up of sheet metal. Okay, so that gives the strength to the body. Please understand that no fiber component is involved in this body in white construction. Okay, now then next is the last thing which we have not discussed is basically the vehicle interior system. So vehicle interior system, here you have the dashboard. A dashboard, also called as dash or instrument panel or fascia, is a control panel placed in front of the driver of an automobile, housing instrumentation and controls for operation of the vehicle. So the first thing which we need to understand in the dashboard, that this defines the complete front interior of the body. Now there are some indicators, which the representative indicator is shown here. You have got the speedometer, then trip A, trip B, then the lubricating oil temperature, then the water, the temperature of the engine cooling water, and other things, they are basically shown on the dashboard. Now please understand one of the most important thing, that how do you come to know that there is some problem with the let us say if there is overheating taking place in the vehicle or not? How you will be identifying this? Sir, how will you come to know that if the overheating is happening in the vehicle or not? How do you ensure that all the systems in the vehicle, they are working perfectly all right just by looking at the dashboard? सर ये आपको मालूम है क्या? प्लीज अनम्यूट द माइक एंड प्लीज आंसर दिस. Those of you who drive the vehicle, they might be knowing this. सर सो गए क्या? अभी तो 9 ही बजा है सर. Do you know this thing or not? Please don't go on the mute mode.
Sir, from water temperature indicator.
From water temperature. Okay. Now suppose आपने गाड़ी को चाबी लगाई और आपने what first thing you look at? What will be displayed on the dashboard? Suppose you inserted the key and given the first turn, what for the ignition switch, what you will see first on the dashboard?
Fuel, sir, means how much fuel?
Sir, I am not talking about any particular indicator. I am talking about that all the indicators, they glow. You observe this that when you insert the key and give it a first turn before cranking the vehicle, whatever you see is all your indicators, they glow. There is a light which will show you all the indicators. And when you start the vehicle, and if there is no indicator which is glowing on the dashboard, then you understand that, then you assume that all these systems, they are working perfectly fine. If there is any problem in the vehicle after starting the vehicle, then that particular you can say sign will appear to be blown on the dashboard, and thereby you can find out that there is a problem with the engine oil level or water oil level or whatever the indicator is given. For example, you just try with this, that for example, in some vehicles, if you switch on the vehicle and then you start the vehicle, you will find that the handbrake sign is continuously glowing. That means the handbrake is on. So whatever sign or whichever sign is getting highlighted on the dashboard, that is basically indicating the problem in the vehicle. So you need to take the corrective action. Therefore, please keep this thing in mind. These are the general things which we should understand as an engineer, and those who drive the vehicle, even driver can understand this, that whenever you start the vehicle, if there is no sign which is glowing on the dashboard, that means you are assured that there is no problem as far as the vehicle functioning is concerned. If there is any sign which is highlighted on the dashboard, then please understand that there is some problem with that. Okay. Sometimes if you do not put on the belt, then also the safety belt, then also that sign will be blown. There will be some horn which will be, or some sound which will be giving by certain interval of time, so that you come to know that there is a problem with the seat belt. You need to wear the seat belt. Okay. So this is regarding the indication which one should know as far as the dashboard is concerned. So we have seen almost all the systems of the vehicle. Now we will study all these systems in detail. So this was the general discussion as far as the vehicle is concerned. Anybody is having any doubt in this? Because we have come to an end of the first part, that is the introduction part of the vehicle, and we will be starting with the steering system. So sir, किसी को कुछ difficulty है, कुछ doubt है, please पूछिएगा. So I assume that there is no doubt, because all you people are in a sleeping mode, so there is no point in discussing with you people. See, if you give such kind of response, then I don't think that you will enjoy whatever we are discussing. That is your choice, because for me, because first of all, we are doing everything in the online mode, and you are supposed to, otherwise from next time onwards, I will ask you people to keep all your cameras on. Okay, so now it is your choice. Do you have any problem? You can put it in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and can speak. There is no restriction. So was there on board sensor? Okay, no doubt, sir. Okay, fine. चलो फिर आगे चलते हैं. Now we will start with the steering system. What is the function of the steering system? Can anyone tell me? What is the function of the steering system in the vehicle? To turn wheel, to give direction, guide the direction. Okay. So control the direction of the movement. Okay. So the single line, whatever answers you have given, that is correct. But if you ask me technically, I will say that the steering gives the directional stability to the vehicle. Okay. By turning the wheels, that is the method how to achieve the directional stability. But the main work of the steering system is to give directional stability. The word directional stability comes because the stability is very, very important. You can turn the vehicle, but the vehicle may not be very stable. Okay. You can change the direction of the vehicle, but it will not be guaranteed that there will not be any problem as far as you take the turning, because when you apply the brake, suddenly the skidding happens. That is also the turning of the vehicle, but it is not with the stable turning. So please understand that the single line answer for the steering system is it gives the directional stability to the vehicle. So please keep this thing in mind. Okay, now what are the the functions of the steering system? So what it says, this is the picture which is taken from how car steering works. So this shows you the steering system. These are the front wheels and these are the rear wheel. Whatever steering system we will be studying in this particular class will be the steering of the front wheel. There are different kinds of steering systems which are used. That means you can have all wheel steering as well. But for all the cars which are flying on the road, the front wheel steering system is used. So we will be discussing the front wheel steering system, its design and other things. Okay. So the first thing which I have discussed is it gives the directional stability to vehicle by control of front wheel, sometimes rear wheel also. Okay. Then the next point is transmit road feel, slight steering wheel pull caused by the road surface to the driver's hand, maintain correct amount of effort needed to turn the wheel. So these are the three important things. As far as the second is concerned, do you have any comment on this? What it says that transmit the road feel, slight steering wheel pull caused by road surface to the driver's hand. Do you feel that it is necessary or it is not necessary? That is the question. What is your say on this? Feedback is necessary. Okay, necessary. Sir, why you need this? Why feedback is necessary in your opinion? You are right, Devansh, that otherwise we won't know how much turning is happening. Okay, that is correct. See, feedback is necessary because with the person sitting in the driving wheel, it becomes a closed loop system. Okay, so based on the quality of the road, the driver will be able to control the speed of the vehicle. Otherwise, if you are driving on the plain road and you are driving on the rough road, then if you don't get if the driver doesn't get the feeling, then there may be a problem while taking the turn or while controlling the vehicle. So therefore there has to be some reversibility to the steering system. That means some road shocks should get transferred to the driver, so that driver should feel that on what kind of road he is driving the vehicle. So this is very important thing as far as the steering system is concerned. That means he should feel, but at the same time this road feel should not be more so that the driver will get fatigued when he will be driving the vehicle on the rough road. Okay, so that is why there has to be some degree of reversibility, as the vibration should get transferred with some damping to the driver's hand, otherwise the driver will have the fatigue. So now fourth one is absorb most of the shock going to the steering wheel as the tire hit holes and bumps on the road. So if there are certain potholes on the road or there are certain bumps, the driver should get the feeling that there, so that he should able to control the vehicle. Now the component of the steering system, the steering wheel allows the driver to control the direction of the wheel. The second one is the steering column. The steering column transmits the action of the steering wheel to the steering rack. Now we are going to see what is steering rack. So this particular component where you have got the rack and pinion kind of arrangement, there are different kinds of the steering systems which are used in vehicle. So what it says that the steering column transmits the action of the steering wheel. That means whatever rotation you give to the steering wheel, it will get transmitted to the wheels through this rack and pinion kind of arrangement. Now the steering rack, this changes the turning movement into side to side movement. That means the circular motion, which the turning movement which you give to the steering wheel, it is getting converted into side to side movement required to turn the wheels. So what is next? The track rod, that is ball joint, allows vertical and horizontal movement of the steering system. So ये जो है, तो ये सर आपको ये जो यहाँ पे ट्रैक रॉड है वो आपको टर्निंग मूवमेंट जो है वो व्हील की देगा. ओके, सो दिस इज वर्टिकल मीनिंग if you see it from the front, तो left and right वाला, that he is calling as the vertical, and the horizontal movement. ओके, यानी टोटल टर्निंग वाला मूवमेंट जो है वो दोनों कंबाइन करके उसने वर्टिकल एंड हॉरिजॉन्टल मूवमेंट टू दी स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम ऐसे लिखा है, बट इट हैज टू बी गिवन टू दी व्हील्स. ओके, सो दिस काइंड्स ऑफ थिंग्स वी विल सी इन डिटेल. नाउ द फ्रंट हब, व्हाट इट सेज, the front hub connects the steering rack to the wheel. Okay, so this is basically the connection. That means the input which is given to the steering wheel are transmitted. Ultimately it has to be transmitted to the wheel motion, and it should be in synchronization with your steering wheel and the perception of driver, whether he wants to take the left turn or whether he wants to take right turn or whether he wants to steer the vehicle in the front direction. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Now next is the basic steering systems. So you have got the two basic steering system. One is the linkage or conventional type of steering system, where linkage type uses worm gear inside the steering gearbox. This we are going to see. This is the steering gearbox. Okay, तो इसमें worm gear का use होता है. This operates the drop arm. The drop arm is given here. It is shown here. This operates the drop arm, then couples to the center link, idler arm, track rod, and the steering knuckle. So these are the steering knuckle about which the vehicles, now presently it has shown the vehicle is moving in the left hand direction. Okay, so this is basically the mechanism. Please understand that in this linkage type of mechanism, which is conventionally followed mechanism, it uses all the linkages. So this is the conventional type. And in the rack and pinion type, actually you eliminate this particular portion completely and you use a rack and pinion kind of system here, so that the steering is coupled with the pinion, and this is basically the rack, and uses track rod to couple the rack of the steering wheel. The other part is same, only this part is replaced. That means this part is replaced here. So in your opinion, which system is good, whether the linkage type is good or the rack and pinion type of system is good? So what is your opinion, sir?
Sir, linkage type.
Okay, why it should be good, sir, linkage type?
Sir, in rack and pinion, the wear will be more, but in linkage type, there will not be any wear.
Sir, it will be other way around, because in linkages you have got more number of joints. So linkages may have some play with the usage of the steering system. That is one thing. Second thing, there will not be any damping of the road shocks from the linkage type, whereas in rack and pinion you can expect some kind of damping. I'm not saying all. Okay, so these are the things. Basically, with aging, the linkage type, conventional type of steering system will have problem. There also otherwise also we are going to see what kind of mechanism is to be used for the steering system. Okay, but before that, see, rack and pinion is also not a very useful, you can say, steering system. Rack and pinion kind of steering system is used in the Maruti 800. Nowadays, now they have also changed. So we will see this. But please try to understand that कि ये जो linkage type में है, with the usage अगर इसमें play आ गया, so there will be some error which will be introduced here. That is first thing. Second thing is going to related to the vibrations which are getting passed from the road surface to the driver's hand. Okay, so we'll see that. Now, linkage steering system, the detailed view is shown here. This is taken from the internet. This figure is available. Just to show you the top view of the steering system, I have taken this with worm gear. So this is what I was referring to. This is the recirculating ball gear system. We are going to see this. Okay, so these are the linkages, and now with the movement of this Pitman arm, you transfer the movement to the wheels for its turning. So this is the diagram which shows the linkage steering system. And now the linkage steering system, one steering wheel used by the driver to rotate a steering shaft. So this is the steering wheel. Then the steering shaft, so this is shown as the steering shaft. This is the component which is called as the steering shaft. You will see that there is a universal joint. This is for the connection to the other parts. Now the steering column, the complete assembly is mounted in a steering column to give the support. So support the steering system and the steering shaft. So ये पूरी assembly steering column से ये steering wheel को join की रहती है in the linkage steering system. Okay, now this is the worm gear type. This is worm and worm gear type. So most linkage type steering system requires some form of mechanical advantage. What is mechanical advantage? You have studied in the mechanics. Some form of mechanical advantage. This is provided mainly by gear ratio in the steering gearbox. So mechanical advantage is basically the amount of effort you require to carry out the intended function. That means if you provide less amount of force, you are expecting that there has to be, see, it is basically related to F1 L1 is equals to F2 L2, and if your L1 is more, then your F1 will be less this moment, whereas on the other side, if L2 is less, so you can lift F2. That means you have got this as the advantage. So it is related to your seesaw. Okay, that means if you change the fulcrum point or the point about which you are taking the moment, then you can achieve that the less force can generate more force, more moment basically. Instead of saying force, the small force can give you greater moment, and the greater force will give you the equal moment with the small momentum. So three main types of steering gearboxes: worm gear, then the recirculating ball type, and worm and roller. This is used in older vehicles, so we will not discuss this. We'll discuss the recirculating. The worm gear I have shown. This is the worm gear. The advantages are most common are worm gear and recirculating ball type. So this is what I was telling you कि ये वर्म गियर एंड रिसर्कुलेटिंग बॉल टाइप ऑफ जो गियर है वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा यूज होते हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इट इज अ रिसर्कुलेटिंग बॉल टाइप गियर बिकॉज दैट आल्सो गिव्स यू द इफेक्ट ऑफ द पावर स्क्रू. हैव यू स्टडीड द पावर स्क्रू? सर प्लीज बताइए, आपने पावर स्क्रू पढ़ा है क्या मशीन डिजाइन में? यस. सो व्हाट इज द basic advantage of power screw? सर पावर स्क्रू कहाँ यूज होता है सर? Where you use power screw? Linear to translatory motion means what sir? Linear to translatory means what? Rotary. Okay. What is the advantage of power screw? Why it is called as power screw? You are correct. One-sided motion, linear and rotational simultaneously. Okay. Sir, power transmission. Sir, power transmission कहाँ होता है?
Sir, with small amount of force, it gives more amount of force. Like in car jack, we use a small amount of force and it lifts the car up.
Exactly. Okay. So the recirculating ball type of जो arrangement रहता है, so with the small effort you put on the steering wheel, then you can control the you can say turning of the wheels properly. Okay, which is not the case with the worm gear. Worm gear में compared to recirculating ball type, worm gears are not that much, you can say, effective in terms of mechanical advantage. But whereas the rack and pinion types, they suffer from the disadvantage that they don't give the mechanical advantage. They don't give that much mechanical advantage. That is first thing. Second thing, the damping is not good compared to this recirculating ball type. Okay, so drop arm and couples to the, that is okay. Worm drive on steering shaft. ओके. हाँ, ये जो है सर नाउ ये है अभी रिसर्कुलेटिंग बॉल टाइप. अभी देखिए स्मॉल नंबर ऑफ टीथ नीडेड. अरे हाँ, ये जो है सर ये आपका रिसर्कुलेटिंग बॉल टाइप है. ये जो बॉल है these are basically recirculating in this particular power screw, which gives the advantage of your power screw which you use for lifting the heavy weight. So recirculating ball type of instead of using worm and worm type, you go for recirculating ball type of mechanism, wherein you get more mechanical advantage compared to worm and worm gear. Okay, so this is the thing which is required. In book, the two-dimensional figure is given. So please refer to the book for the figure of this recirculating ball type, because this I have taken from the internet to make the idea clear that कि recirculating ball type gear क्या होता है. ओके, सो जैसे भी अगर आपको हैंड ड्रॉन स्केचेस अगर ड्रॉ करना है तो प्लीज रेफर टू दी बुक. Now steering system, it talks about the steering gearbox, changes turning motion into straight line motion to the left or right. Steering gear ratios range from 15:1 to 24:1. 15:1 with worm gear turns 15 times to turn the selector shaft once. ओके, तो ये गियर रेशियो है जो आपका जो टर्निंग वाला जो शाफ्ट है वो जब आप वर्म 15 बार घूमेगा तो वो एक बार घूमता है. तो ये सर टोटल उसका डायग्राम है रिसर्कुलेटिंग बॉल टाइप. तो इसमें आपको वो देखने को मिलेगा. सो सर ये दिस फिगर आई हैव टेकन फ्रॉम द नेट. Here it is given the source as well, so you can refer to this particular site. All you people are familiar with this particular site and you can see this. Even I will try to see whether I can get the video of this, or if you can download the video on the working of the recirculating type recirculating ball type of system which is used in steering, then please share that video. Now steering linkage, connect the steering gearbox to steering knuckles and the wheels. So this is the steering linkages which I have shown. This is the actual photograph of these steering linkages. Okay, knuckles and wheels. Please understand that our ultimate aim is to transmit the rotary motion of the steering wheel into the turning motion of the wheel. So how do you achieve? There are different ways of achieving it. Okay, but whatever we will be doing, there has to be some scientific basis. That means it should not happen that when you turn the steering wheel, the front wheels, they should particularly you can say turn through certain angle. Is it required that they should turn by the same angle? Sir, what is your opinion? No. Then at what angle they should turn? We have to have the relationship of the turning of the front wheels. When you do the cornering, cornering is basically you take the turn, whether you take a left turn or right turn, that's okay. For straight line motion, there is no need because you are keeping the wheels in a straight lines. But if you take the turn, so do you expect that they should inner should turn more than the outer? Okay, but by how much degree? There has to be some relationship. So what is that relationship? Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll see. Line through center must meet at a turning center. Okay, this we will see. Pranay, whatever you have said, that is correct, but it has to be put in the proper technical language. So we'll see how to do that. So this is the layout of the rack and pinion steering system, basic rack and pinion steering system. तो सर ये जो है, ये टोटल जो फिगर है, ये टोटल जो फोटोग्राफ है, ये आपको एक्चुअल व्हीकल का रैक एंड पिनियन टाइप ऑफ स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम का बता रहा है. तो सर दिस इज बेसिकली द रैक एंड पिनियन काइंड ऑफ स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम. दिस इज द सपोर्ट and these are the mechanisms which are used to give the support, and this is the outer tie rod end about which your wheels will turn, or this is called as a kingpin also. So we will see this. Okay, तो ये जो है सर, ये जो मैं जितना रेड करते जा रहा हूँ वो है बेसिकली ये स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम का पार्ट है. ये सर पूरा जो है ये स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम का पार्ट है, एंड दिस इज द स्टीयरिंग कॉलम. ओके, so don't worry, I will share the presentation with you, and this is your suspension strut. ये जो है हमने जो सस्पेंशन सिस्टम देखा है ये है आपका सस्पेंशन स्ट्रट, एंड ये जो है ये चेसिस का क्रॉस मेंबर का सपोर्ट. So this is the layout of the rack and pinion kind of steering system. We can also draw by hand as well. Now ये जो है ये complete layout है आपका rack and pinion steering system का. ये मैंने आप separate उसका फिगर निकाल के बताया हुआ है, यानी फोटोग्राफ लिया हुआ है. This is steering column, this is rack and pinion. तो ये जो है सर, ये जो डब्बे में जो असेंबली है in this particular box, you will find that this is the sketch basic rack and pinion components. So what are the features of this? A rack and pinion system is more precise and compact. So it is saying that compared to linkage, because in linkages you may have the error because the wear is not uniform at each and every joint. So there is a problem of the error. As you have studied the theory of machines, you understand that the wear is not going to be uniform with the different kinds of the turning pair. So different turning pairs may have different kinds of or different magnitude of error. If you add up all those errors, then it is said that the total error prediction is not that much correct. So it is saying that the rack and pinion steering system is more precise and compact, use the less component parts, and it is simple in construction. So this kind of system is used in Maruti 800. तो ये जो है सर, ये अभी आप स्ट्रट असेंबली भी देख सकते हैं. तो ये मैक्स फियरसन स्ट्रट असेंबली है. This is the sketch which I am showing you from the Maruti 800 vehicle. Okay. So this is the rack and pinion kind of steering system. It says that it is compact, uses less component parts and simple in construction. So what are the advantages of the rack and pinion? Disadvantages, I will tell you that the mechanical advantage you won't get that much compared to you can say recirculating ball type. Okay. So sir, what are the you can say advantages you see with the rack and pinion? What do you mean by uses less component parts? Means क्या होगा सर? अभी आप ऑटोमोटिव डिजाइनर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोचो, ना कि मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. Less weight. Okay, easy maintenance. That is correct, Pranay. Less weight is also correct. What else? सर मैं ये इसकी बात कर रहा हूँ, आप कमर्शियल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखिए सर. यूजेस लेस कंपोनेंट पार्ट्स. लेस कंपोनेंट पार्ट्स मींस सर आपकी कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व जो है वो कम रहेगी. इफ यू इंक्रीज द नंबर ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स देन द कॉस्ट इन दैट विल इंक्रीज. Okay, the simple design is that is okay, Saurabh. It is already said that it is simple. The line which is written, the commercial people will see this line uses less component parts, because as you increase the number of parts, then first thing the cost of the component manufacturing will be more. As a result, you cannot reduce down on the cost of the vehicle. So likewise, if you reduce the number of components which are used in the vehicle, you can automatically saving the cost of the vehicle. You are coming down, or the overall cost of the vehicle can be reduced. That is one thing. Second thing, if the less number of components are there, you need not have to maintain the or you will not have any problem as far as the serviceability of the vehicle is concerned, because you need to have less components, less servicing, less wear. So this is the idea, that in any system it has to be it should be designed with as less component as possible. If you increase the number of components, you are going to have the problem, and that is why it is said that since the number of components are less, it is simple in construction. Okay, so rack and pinion type. But abhi now you have to trade off कि rack and pinion वाला यूज करना है या linkage यूज करना है. Okay, so now then technical features will come into picture. So this is more common on modern vehicles. ये जैसे बता रहा है कि ये modern vehicle पे ज्यादा यूज होता है. But nowadays the vehicles, they are having the electronic control system, electronic power steering system with this kind of thing. The modern vehicles, though they use this, but now the steering system which is used in modern vehicle has progressed or advanced much. Then the pinion gears, it is rack and pinion. What is the rack and pinion steering system principle? So sir, ये आपको मैंने अभी कट सेक्शन का व्यू बताया है. ये है रैक, sorry, ये pinion है, और this is the rack and this is the spring which is given. Now let us see what are the effects of this. The pinion meshes with the rack to move the sideways. Now the thrust spring holds a rack against pinion to prevent any backlash. That means एक आपको compressed condition में thrust spring लगा दिया है. ये practical difficulty है, because it should not happen that with the vibration there the pinion should lose the contact with the rack. So rack has to be pushed in the forward direction so that ये backlash नहीं आना चाहिए, and there it should not lose the contact. Pinion shaft is normally shimmed to minimize the end float, up or down movement, also reducing the backlash. So this is basically the constructional details of the rack and pinion. वो जो डब्बा था वो डब्बा खोल के, ये जो डब्बा है सर, एक मिनट, ये जो बॉक्स है ये ओपन करके आपको ये असेंबली बताई हुई। Now the next is the steering gear mechanism. The steering gear mechanism is used for changing the direction of two or more of the wheel axle with reference to the chassis. अभी सर स्टीयरिंग गियर मैकेनिज्म अभी कौन सा यूज करना है, अभी ये बात करते हैं। The steering gear mechanism is used for changing the direction of two or more axles, more of the wheel axles with reference to the chassis, so as to move the automobile in any desired path. So this is important thing कि गियर मैकेनिज्म का अभी ऐसा यूज होना चाहिए which can change the direction of the wheels. Usually the two back wheels have a common axis which is fixed in the direction with reference to the chassis, and steering is done by means of the front wheel. So what it says, now please understand that these points are drifting us to the design, to the mathematical way of designing the steering. What it says, पहली बात तो ये है कि steering gear mechanism used to change the direction of the two or more wheels. So we are now concentrating on only front wheels. Then usually two back wheels have a common axis. That means, see, now he is putting restriction. The back wheels, they are having a common axis. That means they are rigidly connected, which is fixed in the direction with reference to the chassis. We will see this rigid connection in the suspension system, but right now please understand that the motion of the two wheels, two rear wheels, is not independent of each other. Right now for the designing of the steering system is fixed in the direction with reference to the chassis, and steering is done by means of front wheel. That means we are only concentrating on the front wheels. So let us see what it says. In automobile, front wheels are placed over the front axle, which are pivoted to point A and B as shown in figure. I will show you the figure. These points are fixed to the chassis. So please understand that the front wheels अभी पिवोट किए जाते हैं। फ्रंट व्हील किसके सर, इसके ऊपर आपका प्रैक्टिकल भी बेस्ड है सर। ओके, सो आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू दिस थिंग सो दैट आपका प्रैक्टिकल में इजी हो जाएगा काम। तो सर ये टोटल सिस्टम है। नाउ अभी ये पढ़िए, द बैक व्हील्स आर प्लेस्ड ओवर द बैक एक्सल एट द टू एंड्स ऑफ द डिफरेंशियल ट्यूब। यानी ये जो है ये सर ये बैक एक्सल है, ये जो मैं जो रेड से कर रहा हूँ ये बैक एक्सल है, ये ट्यूब टाइप के एक्सल है, ये रियर व्हील्स है। ओके, एट द टू एंड्स ऑफ द डिफरेंशियल ट्यूब, when the vehicle takes a turn, the front wheels along with the respective axle turns about the respective pivoted points. Okay, तो सर अभी ये जो है एक मिनट, तो सर ये जो A एंड B है, ये ये B एंड A, इसके अबाउट जो है सर आपका जो व्हील है वो टर्न होता है। दैट मींस द व्हील विल टर्न about this particular point. ये सर now since it is taking left turn, I have shown you the in the left side, but it can have the rotation on the right hand side as well. Both the wheels can rotate right hand side as well. I am just showing this gauge which is showing that vehicle is taking left turn, the red one. Okay, now please read these lines. When the vehicle takes a turn, the front wheels along with the respective axles turn about the respective pivoted point. Okay, तो ये जो pivoted point है सर इसके अराउंड ये व्हील टर्न होगा। जो रेड कलर का, ये जो पिंक कलर का जो डॉटेड लाइन है, इट इज शोइंग यू दैट द व्हीकल इज टेकिंग लेफ्ट टर्न। ये यहाँ लिखा है लेफ्ट टर्न, ठीक है। द बैक व्हील्स रिमेन स्ट्रेट एंड डू नॉट टर्न, देयरफॉर द स्टीयरिंग इज डन बाय मींस ऑफ फ्रंट व्हील। सर ये जो डायग्राम है, ये डायग्राम पे based on this diagram we have to now design or we have to do certain calculations to know that exactly how can you achieve the proper steering. So what is this I, sir? Can you tell what this point I is called as?
Instantaneous center.
Yes. So instantaneous center of rotation. This you have studied in theory of machines, if I am not wrong. Yes or no, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when the vehicle is moving in the straight line, these wheels move in the vertical plane. So, instantaneous center will lie on the line drawn perpendicular to these wheels. So, that is why it is dotted line extended to the left. Now, when it takes the turn, then the center line of these two, it should meet at one particular point. If the instantaneous center of rotation of the vehicle is not same, for example कि मान लो, I am just telling you the example कि ये मैं instantaneous center दूसरे कलर से अभी इसको हाईलाइट करता हूँ, ये मैजेंटा कलर से, कि भाई इसका जो instantaneous center है ये यहाँ है और इसका जो instantaneous center है ये यहाँ है। अभी इसका यहाँ और इसका यहाँ, ये दोनों फ्रंट व्हील का अगर इंस्टेंटेनियस सेंटर मैच नहीं हुआ, दैट मींस क्या रहेगा सर? द प्रॉब्लम विल हैपन दैट द व्हीकल मे गेट पुल्ड on one particular side or it may get skid. The skidding may happen. Okay, so that is why for perfect steering you should have the condition that all this, the instantaneous center of the all wheels should meet at one particular point. That means there the vehicle at any point of time when it is taking left turn or right turn, the instantaneous center of rotation for all the four wheels should be a single point. There should be unique instantaneous center of rotation. So this is basically the condition for the proper turning of the vehicle. Okay, so this is the condition. Now in the we will stop here. In the next class we will discuss or we will derive the equation which is required for perfect steering. Okay, now if you have any query, please do ask. If you do not have any query, then I will stop sharing these slides. Sir, is this clear? Okay, so I will stop sharing and I will share the presentation with you people. The सर मेरी आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है, जो भी कोई क्लास छोड़ के गया है उसकी आज एब्सेंटी लगेगी, ठीक है? तो जिसने भी क्लास छोड़ के गया है आप उसको बता दीजिएगा कि उसकी आज एब्सेंटी है। अगर आप ऐसा करते जाओगे कि मैंने क्लास कब बंद किया, मेरे पास क्लास का लॉग रही, एब्सेंटी जरूर लगे। So sir, this is basically the idea. So in the next class we will discuss the further part which will be required in your practical as well. So with this we'll stop here. Now you can leave the meeting.